What's going on, everybody? We've got another speaker review today. Today we're checking out battery powered speakers, great ceremony options, busker options. You guys get the deal. We've got the Lotaway Y1X-120, and we also have the king of ceremonies, the Everse 8. All right, so let's start off by talking about some key differences. As always, I don't script my videos. We just kind of shoot from it and we run it together. So the Lotaway obviously is a little bit smaller. The Lotaway has three 2.5-inch speakers. So there's three 2.5-inch speakers in here. This one is an 8-inch speaker with your 1.5-inch tweeter up top. So a little bit different of a configuration. Your Everse 8 is rated at 121 SPL. The Lotaway is rated at 115. So there is a 6 difference of SPL out of this. However, first impressions with this Lotaway, I'm really liking it. It's a third of the price, so that's super important. You can pick these up for $299, $279 if you use my code. And then these ones are running about $800. The other big difference, a major difference here, is the Lotaway does ship with the bag, so you get your carrying bag shipped in the same price. With the Everse 8, it does have a bunch of accessories you can buy. So the bag itself, I think, is about $75. And then you also have a tray to put your mics up on top, so you can set this up here, make it flat, set your whole mic case up. So that's really nice too, but this does not ship with it, and neither does the bag. So that's definitely something to think about. But what you guys really care about is the sound of these. So we're gonna play some songs, the same exact song that I played out of the Exiton. It's copyright-free music, plus then you can kind of start to understand what that song sounds like through different speakers. We're gonna go ahead and start out with the Lotaway, and there's no EQ on it. I've got it completely flat on the side, and we're at about halfway volume. It does have a little spot where it stops, so we're gonna leave it there. I could go all the way back up, but we're gonna leave it there. And then on the Everse, it does have an app. So the Everse 8 does have an app, which is a really big difference. With the Everse's app, you can control the EQ, you can mute all the channels, you can turn up and down channels, and you just really have a whole lot more control with the app. So Lotaway does not have an app, unfortunately. So everything is gonna be controlled here on the side rather than being able to be controlled on an app. This one can also be controlled on the side. All right, so now for the sound test. I've got my phone hooked up to the Lotaway via Bluetooth, and I've got my MacBook connected to the Everse 8 via Bluetooth. Both of them are fully maxed out on my phone and on the MacBook. Over here, we've got it at half volume, and over here, we've got it right at unity as well. So we should be completely even on these two. So we're gonna start out by playing out of the Lotaway. I'm gonna go ahead and press play, and then I'm gonna back up over right next to you guys so we get good audio. All right, so that was the Lotaway speaker. Pretty impressive. There is three 2.5-inch speakers in there. But like I said, dude, it gets loud. It's plenty loud, even at a little bit smaller of a footprint. So next we're gonna jump over to the Everse 8, the king of ceremonies. They should be all set to the same level. So we're gonna hit play and go from there. So there you have it. There's a sound test. I'm going to give my first thoughts because that's the first time I've heard them side by side too. I think the Everse definitely produces the bass a little bit more effortlessly. However, the bass that this produces is a good sound, and you're not going to get a feeling from a 2.5-inch driver like that, or 2.5-inch speaker. but the bass that you hear is very good. So this is a very good sounding speaker. You're getting a full range sound. And it's definitely producing from the sides, everything. It sounds really, really good. Over here on the Everse, like I said, you're getting a little bit more of an effortless sound. So it's not having to really work as hard, and you can almost tell, and you're getting more of a full sound. So I definitely would prefer the sound of the Everse slightly, just at flat EQs. However, I do think that this is an amazing option. I don't think that there's anything really wrong with this sound. I think you're getting a good sound out of it. We're obviously comparing it to the king of ceremonies and of battery powered speakers. Both of them have swappable batteries. I think that's super cool. I did mention that this one can't power a microphone, but that's not that big of a deal, because I mean, they make a million power stations. This is a tiny little power station that can power a microphone through a ceremony easily. There's bigger ones. You guys know the deal by now. So you really don't have to have that power cord out. I know it's nice that they have that. But yeah, I mean, overall, so the difference is, I think that they're probably both capable of getting plenty loud for a ceremony. I don't think you're going to have any issue with the loudness of this speaker. It's also a third of the price, so you could get 3 of these speakers for the price of 1 of these. It's not going to be as convenient without the app control. You're going to have to run up to it each time. They both do have TWS linking on Bluetooth. That only works on Bluetooth. That's industry-wide. That's just the technology of the TWS linking. I like the grill here on the Everse a little bit more, but I think this is a nice look. It's nice and compact. They just have their one logo there, nothing too shiny, nothing too crazy. I do kind of prefer the white logo. That would be cool if they could have done like a black logo to really match it. But you got to get your name out a little bit. We can go and show you guys the sides of the units. Again, they're both battery powered, so that's going to show your battery power level. We're at about half here. You've got your Bluetooth one click. You've got your TWS to sync the 2 Bluetooths. You can also come in via RCA. You get your line out to connect to another speaker. You've got your switch here for whether you want to be on line input, mic input, or instrument input. You've got a reverb on each one of your inputs. You've got bass and treble controls on each input as well. And then on the side here, you've got your volume levels and your limit switches. They weigh about the same. I'm gonna have to look up the exact pound difference, but there's not too much of a difference as far as the weight. It's just really a size difference there. So they both are mountable too. I forgot to show you the bottom of the other one, but they are both mountable, which is super nice. But you got your mix out here. The things that are different is you get your power out for microphones. You also get a USB-C out to power up your phone, things like that. You get a 3.5 millimeter in. That's something that's not on the Lotaway. Otherwise, you have your 2 1/4-inch to XLR combo jacks. Another difference is a foot switch pedal here. So you have your foot switch out. You do not have that on the Lotaway. The Everse 8 has 5 standard preset DSP settings, and you can go in there and EQ it, real fine control in the app. This one does not have any DSP settings, and you only have that treble and bass control. So as far as control, you're definitely getting a lot more control out of this Everse 8. But as far as a good ceremony speaker for budget DJs who are just starting out, or even if you've been doing it for a while and you just want a good backup, I think this is a great option. It's got a small footprint. It gets loud. It sounds good. You keep this at your ceremony, use this at your cocktail hour, whatever you got to do. But I think it is a good option at $299, $279 using my code. I could definitely recommend this speaker.